Hey, you guys, and welcome to Star Wars Virtual Celebration. Oh, and the music just won't stop. It is quite exciting. Oh, no, I'm hearing the show, which is very awkward. But welcome to Star Wars Virtual Celebration. I had two other windows of this show playing, and I was hearing me in the past, and trust me, it wasn't that good. But what we are going to be doing is having a little bit of a virtual celebration get together, hanging out with the people that I would probably be bumping into or wishing I was bumping into at Star Wars Celebration. So let us bring on everyone, set the table. In New York, from the Canto Bight Dispatch, we have got Emily Lind.
Go.
In Ohio, the king of all Toms, from the Sith list and everyone's Patreon, it's King Tom Chansky.
Hi there.
Nice. From the Sisters with Sabers, my Twitter friend and yours, it is Maria. How you doing?
Hey everybody, it's me, Maria.
Hey, Maria, were you going to go to Star Wars Celebration?
Yes, we purchased tickets. We're just going to roll them over. We ended up getting the Jedi passes. Super expensive.
Ooh. Wow, you'd want to roll those over. But I just feel for you because I feel like you were probably hoping to see a lot of Ahsoka at Star Wars Celebration, but you got probably more Ahsoka than you expected in a different form.
I did. I sure did.
Maria's daughter's named Ahsoka, everyone, just so everyone knows. So
cool.
It's true, all of it. But yes, I wasn't able to go to Chicago because she was still like breastfeeding / formula. So this was supposed to be our triumphant return back to Celebration.
It's meant to be all our triumphant returns, especially. Boy, do we miss this guy at last Star Wars Celebration. From the Rogue Rebels, it's Sal Perales.
Aw.
What up?
I was so glad you weren't going to just communicate through Lothcat then. That was fantastic.
I also use words.
Excellent. You're there with Ezra because it's all about family.
I'm like, for all the audio listeners, I'm demonstrating the wonderful background that I have. That is not a Zoom background. It's just my wall because it has Rebels on it. Because we're Rebels people. And I'm Rebels people.
You are Rebels people, that's for sure. We just did a live stream with a bunch of people, and Aaron Boyd was on it, and he had like the Zoom background of Anakin Skywalker, and he was sort of like coming through the side of him like Guato from Total Recall. It was
shirtless Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, like when he woke up from the nightmare. And someone that just refuses to go to an event like Star Wars Celebration, but we wish he would. For those that are listening just to the audio podcast, you're missing out on his amazing little icon of Skeletor drinking a beer, and it's not working out so well. Welcome back to the live stream, Robbo. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Glad to be here.
How does it feel for you, Robbo, that like everyone's sort of bummed about Star Wars Celebration not happening? How does it feel for the person that wasn't going to go? Are you mourning the borrowed excitement?
I guess like I like when I like to see like the new stuff they show off and to watch the panels. Like I attend virtually every year, so like I don't miss it, but I don't like crowds personally.
Or people or places or doing things.
Yes, all that is true.
Or Star Wars.
Yeah, 100% true.
Would I be correct in assuming that you haven't done a celebration?
Never. No, I don't I don't really do conventions in general.
Like never done it or don't do it?
Well, I mean, never done it.
Okay. I guess that's the end of my questioning.
We
what about if there was
gotten Robbo to show up to the after party at New York Comic Con. So I figured that's a pretty big achievement.
That's not bad. Because the after stuff is like sometimes almost as intense as the during.
Yeah, well, right. But I mean, like but then the only people I like are going to be there. So
that's fair.
You know, but yeah. So no, I mean, I'm also sad because I don't like get to see like the fun pictures of like everybody like meeting up at the convention and all that. And,
yeah, you mean
like,
the cool people in Rebels costumes, right?
Yeah, I like your costumes a lot. Yeah, so definitely.
Johnny, man, come to Celebration. I might be there, especially if it's in Anaheim.
Well, Robbo did come to the Steele Wars podcast in New York, Emily. That was and he proved himself to be a delight. That's why I say to just like would have been great if Robbo was here. Would have been great.
Robbo's one of my favorite people.
This is making me very uncomfortable.
I know, that's why I said it.
We are going to talk Star Wars Celebration favorite memories. We're just going to muck around and chat Star Wars. And if you're watching on the YouTube stream, we'll post up the link in a little bit so you can zoom in also. But I feel like we should just at the top of the show, and if you have not been following the news in the last hour or so, just not good, devastatingly unimaginable news that Chadwick Boseman, who the world knows that played Black Panther, passed away from colon cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know what to I just know he meant so much to so many people, and it's incredibly tough to lose someone, whether you've met them or not, when they take up that sort of chunk of your life and give you such inspiration and stuff. So my heart goes out to all the fans of Chadwick worldwide. I don't know, does anyone else want to have anything to remember him by or say? Well, that sums that up. It's just stunningly, hard. So
I'll jump in.
Yeah,
if
great,
nobody's
Maria.
got anything. I'll fucking jump in. It's cool. I think I was just sitting here doing the math. If he's been struggling with colon cancer for 4 years, Black Panther came out in 2018. That means that he could have very well been filming while he was dealing with cancer and fighting for his life. And that means that he knew how important the movie was, and he even put it above his own health, which is touching and also incredibly sad. It's an incredible loss, not just for fans, but his family. My thoughts go out to his family for sure. But it's not every day that you get a movie like Black Panther. And of course, I don't speak for all brown people anyway, but this movie meant so much to Black people. And because we don't have a real Wakanda, we don't have a culture. We're a people whose culture has been stolen from us. This movie was incredibly important, and he represented something to so many people. If you just go to YouTube and look at like Black people meeting Chadwick Boseman, like people are speechless, they're crying, because he meant so much to so many. And that film represents a very big moment for people of color. So it is a gut punch for sure to the Black community, who's already struggling with so very, very much this year. All I can say is Chadwick believed in the Black Lives Matter movement. If you want to honor him, please take a look at his Twitter page. You'll find what he believed in there. And if you cared about his contributions, then maybe support those things that he believed very strongly in. It's an incredible loss, and someone so young, 43 years old, it's like, wow, what a gift he gave us. Like, he gave us his all in those films. Like, in the film, you can't even tell he's sick. Like, he is really pushing through. And I'm sure members of the cast probably knew, and no one said anything. Like, everyone's been so fucking classy. Even when people were asking about how he was doing and speculating on his weight and things like that. It's fucking incredibly moving, incredibly sad, but also I'm very grateful because I'm not a Marvel fan, but Black Panther is beyond Marvel. It's another language for people of color, and he put the idea of what this film was about above his own health. And I am forever grateful for that.
I can't address it better than Maria did, but my little brother, who is 17 years old, young Black kid growing up in Indiana, he's a teenage boy. He's not the most engaged in talking to you about what he's interested in, but one of the things that he always excited and engaged to talk about was Black Panther. I know that's one of the things that really reached him. And again, getting a teenage boy to talk about something to you is hard, but I've had many conversations with him about the Marvel movies and about Black Panther in particular. And a lot of that is down to how real Chadwick's performance was. And while we're recording this, my brother, I don't know if he knows this happened, and I don't want to be the one to tell him, because it's just the idea of being the one to break that news. But I've seen these pictures on Twitter of him going to visit kids in cancer wards. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's doing that at a time when he was going through this, and it's not like he owed any of us to tell us that this was happening. The fact that it is such a shock it's hard. And he was an amazing actor, but more importantly, he was an amazing person, and it's a real loss. And I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say.
Extremely well said, both you guys. Thank you so much. I just know not following the comic books and stuff like that, and not really knowing about Black Panther, and then seeing the ecstaticness and just what it meant to him and the cast. I think it was at Comic-Con or something. They showed the trailer, and it was just it was such a celebration that they'd all done this together, and that really interested me. Is oh my God, these people are so amped about this. This is going to be something special, and it so was. Just heavy. And I'm not sure what else I can say about that. Should we maybe watch a video game trailer or something? I have
I don't have a personal connection, but I do have a kind of cute and touching story about when I saw Black Panther in the theater. And there was a dad who took his son. They were sitting right next to me and my son, and he was, it's a Black guy, and his son was so into it, and it was into it in a way that it was very touching, and just reminded me that this kind of thing matters. And these people, the people who inhabit these roles, whether it's Marvel or Star Wars or anything really, when they show up and create these characters, it really it makes an impact on people's lives, just as Emily and Maria were saying. So it's, I'll never forget that kid shouting "Wakanda forever" at the top of his lungs after right when the credits started rolling. That was I don't know. So like that's just, I guess it isn't really a personal story, but just wanted to throw that out there because I don't know when I'm gonna ever have a chance to tell that story, but this stuff matters. It really does.
Yeah, just like, especially for kids, anything that hypes them in a positive way is just so like great. And oh man, it's just 2020, huh? Hey, remember when George Lucas like CGI'd that rock in front of R2D2 and we all got really angry about it? That was fun. Okay. What else?
A clunky.
Is this a real Hasbro figure or a bootleg
Nothing
in Hong
is
Kong?
so terrifying.
Who knows? Yeah. So I'm trying. I've got some other bad things around here. I've got a Chewbacca whose stomach is Groot. There's that.
That is not good.
And then
that's horrid.
I've got a very unattractive Mark Hamill here. So yeah, just quite a year. But I do have to say the online community, and if you filter well, you will get a great online community, has given me a lot of solace in the past couple of months. So I am happy that I'm here chatting with you guys right now. So hats off to you. No one's got a hat on. I wonder if Robbo's got a hat on. We'll never know. Hood's off, Robbo.
Just a hairpiece, man.
Just a hairpiece.
Kind of counts, right?
Nailed it, Emily.
Now, let's watch a video game trailer, and that will help us break the mood. I haven't seen this. I did watch the Lego one today. I did that on the stream this afternoon, and it filled me with joy. Just the dumb jokes and the Star Wars music. It was very sweet. So, has anyone seen that?
No.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Who said yes?
I have.
What did you think, Tom?
I thought it was good. They my biggest concern was they delayed the game until next spring, and my son was really looking forward to getting it for Christmas. He's 8, and I thought he would be very angry about it, but he watched the trailer, he laughed, and he said, "Of course it's delayed. They're putting a lot into it." So he's accepting of that fact, and I'm my day was made just because of that.
You should give yourself like a little like dad point for that.
Yeah.
In one respect, I raised a well-adjusted child. Like he didn't immediately take to Twitter and complain to like specific named people at Lucasfilm or something.
He doesn't have Twitter yet. And, yeah.
But on the other hand, he's going to produce the world's most boring Star Wars podcast. So,
yeah.
So it's either or. I should shout out the chat is just loaded with peeps. There's Brittany Brown, the Sith List, Josh Chapman, Hawes Burkhart, Billy Davis, Angelo James, Lauren Romo, who Lauren is someone who the only time I'll ever get to see her is at Celebration. So, she says very succinctly, just speechless right now, Rip Chadwick, and that Star Wars podcasting fandom is a wonderful place. and I have to agree. For like all places, it's mixed, but the underlying vibe is good. Ian Gallagher says, "This is just what I need. Thank you all." So we appreciate that. And later on, we will be opening up the Zoom so you guys can hang out as well, which, Emily, let me ask you a question.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
You have done many a podcast with me,
Yes.
a live stream. It's going remarkably well thus far.
I mean, from like the technical aspect, I'm amazed. Like, this is the first time I think maybe ever I've done a show with you that did not start with you fighting the equipment you were using.
It's a beautiful thing.
Everything was plugged in to the right place. The knobs were adjusted properly.
But there was this one issue I kept having with the video screen, and I downloaded this app. It was called like Mac Screen Swap or something, and I deleted it, but it infested my computer. Every option wanted to go to that, so I could. That's why a few of those times were very frustrating. Other times, who knows? It's a wondrous.
I mean, there is one common denominator in all of those things.
How dare you?
I didn't say what that common denominator was.
Yeah. Okay. What is it?
I mean, maybe I was talking about myself. You don't know.
Robbo can confirm it happens when you're not there. Definitely.
I'm sorry. Is somebody talking? I can't. I just lost all my audio. Kidding.
Excellent. Well, well trolled. All right. Who has anyone seen this Star Wars Squadrons trailer yet?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
All right. Let's see if I can do this.
Ooh, here's a real test of.
Come on. It's all good. Here we go. We're here on StarWars.com. Star Wars all the time, they tell me. Let's go. Let's see what's going on. Star Wars Squadrons.
Man, that's one huge dog tag.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is.
It's like a medallion. This is nice.
We all choose our path, light or dark, freedom or destruction. The Empire chose to destroy Alderaan in order to spread fear and douse the fires of rebellion. But the heroic pilots of the Rebel Alliance have chosen to keep fighting, to show the Empire that we are not afraid.
They're in trouble.
It was their bravery that ended Palpatine's reign and brought about our new republic. However, the Empire lives on, shattered though it may be. As I speak, Imperial forces are edging toward the Bormia sector, hoping to end our new republic before we find our footing. As their empire collapses, they try to tighten their grip. But the galaxy is changing, and you can be a part of it. With the help of brave and daring pilots, this war can end. Make a choice. Fly with the new republic. Change our galaxy for the better.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Hunka, narrative producer on Star Wars Squadrons.
What?
Our single-player story
rest of the
is one of
trailers
daring
just start
pilots
talking
and
over,
deep-seated rivalries.
Take Titan
Gameplay
Squadron.
and other stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
Good to know. I was like, how did she get on the chat? That was incredible. Hey, that didn't get me to want to watch or play the game at all, but that was like one of the sweetest YouTube videos I've ever seen. The effects and the way Leia's like silhouette came in, that was
Any good Princess Leia speech is like super dope. So that whole opening, I just like Princess Leia speeches.
It
My
made
God,
me
that-
want to sign up.
that was meant to be Princess Leia.
Did you not see the
Yeah.
buns?
Who did you? think
Yeah,
it
at the
was?
end, I just thought it was like symbolic. I just didn't get Leia vibes, but the effects were amazing. Did it show anything of the game or Tron?
The part where she's talking does.
Okay. What was the Tron bit about? Just effects?
I think it was the it's supposed to be a stylized version of the attack on the first Death Star.
I mean, I'm assuming that's not actual gameplay.
No.
It did remind me of that old Atari, the sit-down game that you'd play at the arcade with the dot matrix or whatever, however that game plays described.
Is a vector monitor, Steele.
Thank you, Robbo. This is why we have a pro game person. Now this one, this Sims.
That's on my business card.
Has any of you guys played? Have any of you guys played The Sims before?
Not since the first one in however many years ago that was.
I feel like I logged on once, made a man move, and just went, "Yeah, that's it for me."
I played a lot when the first, like when Sims, the original version, came out. I played for like a month straight because I was a teenager then, and then never played again.
After your month of simming, what had you achieved in the Sim universe?
Okay, this, much like Sim City, mostly what happens is I play to a certain point and then I get frustrated and just light everything on fire.
In the game, I hope.
Yes, in the game. Like in Sim City, you could, like, I don't know, remember if it was like from the original game or through a cheat code, but you could like start disasters where like there'd be fires or like aliens would attack your city. I would do that when I got frustrated. And there's similar stuff in Sims when you can just like starve people or delete the bathrooms or just like drown them or whatever.
What a game. How many people did you starve?
I mean, only a couple, because I only had a few Sims who I had like taken to the point where I could, as soon as things get difficult, then I don't want to do it anymore.
Wow. All right. We're learning a lot about Emily here.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea what a Sims Star Wars will contain. So I'm fascinated to this. Sims seems like something I would, like, I think I want to play, but I probably don't. But in theory, it sounds good. And it's at Galaxy's Edge, which seems to be, that just rubs salt in the wound.
It is very weird to, like, I watched the little thing for this. It is very weird to see the like Star Wars characters speaking in the little Sims like gibberish language.
It could have been at least made him talk like Jawas, right? They should have been more on brand.
Oh wait, we haven't watched it yet, but I just want to know, Sal, for you live and breathe Star Wars. We know this.
We do.
You live 15 minutes away from Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
Can you now imagine a reality where you now have to play a Sims game to go there now for the next year?
Not gonna lie. If the game is cheaper than it is to go to Galaxy's Edge, I might do it more often. Which I think it is gonna be. Never played Sims in my life. Knew what it was, knew it was a thing. All of a sudden, very excited.
Sal, listen,
I'm
always up for a caper. And you know I'm always up for content.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I propose. When it comes out, we get together, we mask up, we go down to Disneyland, and we just sit out the front and play it for a few hours.
Okay. I think we need Switches or whatever it's coming out on.
Sweet. I'm on it. That's content. Okay. All right, let's go to this
I'm
thing.
Down. I'm bound to go to Batu in the parking lot of Batu.
Thank you. Let's see what happens.
One genie. Shupaza Quack.
That was it's so weird. I expect when it pans up to be able to see Orange County in the background, but it just bleeds out.
So she's in love with the Millennium Falcon. And did I get that correctly? Because the ship shows up and just like a little heart emoji. It's like, oh my God, he's here.
Yeah, it's a different version of that I Married the Berlin Wall documentary.
This looks cute.
I don't understand what the game's about, but if it lets me hang out in the cantina and like be friends with Hondo, down.
Well, that's what impressed me was I've been there, but now I finally got a chance to go inside the cantina. Because there was no go when I was there. That, I don't know what's happening in it, but it seems exciting.
Does it seem exciting?
Yeah, well, it did seem exciting. That's like I'll stand by that.
Like,
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
The actual gameplay is.
I don't know what I'm.
It looks like
supposed to do. I don't know. They bring. I saw people hanging out of this plenty to do at Batu.
So does it take place on like the fictional planet, or does it take place in Disney World? Like what? I can't tell.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, actually. Like, does it take place on Batu or does it take place on Galaxy's Edge?
I mean, it's really immersive. Don't get me wrong. And I saw my my girl Vi Marati there, so like, you know, you can meet her, which is great. She's always there.
So, what's up with Vi? Is there only one actress playing her at each land? Because it seemed like in the Anaheim Disneyland there was just like one lady that played her. Is that right, or am I?
I've seen more than one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see her in Orlando.
Oh,
really sad. I feel like somebody owes me likeness rights. That character looks a lot like me, so just waiting on the check, everybody.
Hey, listen, Sal's still trying to shake down Freddie Prinze Jr., so good luck.
I've been on that train for a long time, and I haven't gotten very far. I'll let you know right now.
Did Sal just go in slow motion for everyone, or just me?
No,
me too.
For me too. Yeah, it was great.
That was amazing. That was like the bit of the battle in The Last Jedi that Robbo hates when it goes into slow motion. That was.
Don't hate it. It's still in like my third favorite Star Wars movie out of like 10. So that's still a big fan of that.
11.
How many are there now?
11.
11, right?
Yeah.
11.
I keep forgetting about that new one. And it's not a joke. Like I just lost count.
Billy Davis, I feel like, speaks for all Star Wars fans when he says in the chat, I will be obsessed with it for 2 weeks, then forget about it.
Do kids still play The Sims?
I have no idea.
What is The Sims? What do you do? I know you said you kill people by starving them. What else do you do?
You have I mean, I don't know anymore, but I know that like when I played The Sims, you could have different characters and you could do like character development, and then you could have like careers for them, you would build houses for them, and you would live like throughout their whole life.
Is it kind of like Animal Crossing?
I think it's less social, but yeah, that's not a bad comparison, really.
Yeah, I mean, because there's not like a story that you play through, certainly.
I don't think Animal Crossing has a story.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more like you're just like, it's much more about like making your house and buying.
Yeah, you make
things.
your house, put your clothes on, and like go hang. Yeah. So I think I've seen like Lizzie play enough Animal Crossing to where I'm like, oh, I would do that if it was at Batu and I could dress up myself as a Star Wars person.
Okay, so
Yeah,
We
I
know
think
what.
they would
Yeah.
at least be in the same like genre of games.
Although I didn't actually play the Animal Crossing, so we'll see if I actually get into it.
Is that what the kids call it? The Animal Crossing?
Is that what they call it? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
It sounds like the Walmart. To me. It has that
Yeah, the Animal
connotation.
Crossing.
I mean, if I could be like an Ewok in the Animal Crossing, I would probably own Animal Crossing.
I don't know if
Yeah.
Robbo can do it or
how
not.
can I get a Purgle? Like, what can we do?
I've got sad news. We
Uh-oh.
the YouTube can't see Robbo's icon of Skeletor drinking.
Oh no.
I'm not sure if
Shit.
it's because he's not sharing the video, or it's like if he shares video,
All
he'll
right.
reveal himself. Maybe how do I make it? I might be able to just make it on you for a sec. People have to see this.
I think it'll just be blank if you.
Oh, here we go. You're there now, but I'm not sure if you'll show up. But who knows? Very exciting. Hey, but what we were going to talk about were our golden celebration moments. Now, one of my, there's the big ones, the publicized ones, the live streamed ones. But one of my sweetest moments I ever did get to witness was last year, I think it was, who knows, at Celebration Chicago. And that was seeing Emily Lind meet Brittany Brown. These people that had met in a live chat and on Twitter, and then they had done this podcast, the Canto Bite Dispatch together, and became best friends. It's to see them meet in person was pretty good. Emily?
Yeah, so that was a pretty big deal. I mean, I guess Brittany and I had been doing the podcast for almost like 2 years at that point, and we hadn't met in person. And I remember getting weirdly nervous because I'd gotten to the airport with some other people. So I was with Aaron Boyd and I think actually Carlos, and we took a car together to our Airbnb wasn't ready yet, so we were at everybody was at a bar like a block away, and
Shocking.
then I walk in and there's Brittany, and it was a really big deal. We had met through your show, Steele, because I had done it several times, and Brittany had called in a couple times, doing her casino dispatches.
And for everyone that didn't listen back then, she would call in while at work at the casino.
Yes, she would. In particular, I remember one time when I was doing the show from the laundromat, and she called in. So
That's
that was
so New York of you.
But yeah, no, it was. I gotta admit, I definitely started to cry when I walked in and saw her there.
Dude, I definitely started to cry.
I'm not good with talking about real things, but she's somebody who means a lot with me, and we barely knew each other when we started the podcast, which is weird. It's a weird way to start a podcast together, but she was just looking for a co-host, and I forced myself upon her, and through that we became really close, and she's somebody I talk to, if not every day, most days. And yeah, we met at in Chicago Celebration, and it was very, very special and very cool, and something I will not forget anytime soon.
It was super cool. One that I didn't see personally, but I love the story of, is the Sabine cell. and they almost like died meeting each other from memory.
So this was 2017 Celebration Orlando, and Lizzie podcasts. She has one called Star Wars Geek Girl that she podcasts with a girl named Zoe who lives in like Pennsylvania, far away from us. And it was just a girl who like her dad hit me up one day and was like, "Hey, like, how did you make your Sabine?" And I was just like, "Here's all the information. Here's the colors I used. Here's the armor. Here's where I got like the helmet. Like, hey, my little girl has a Sabine now. Like, oh, that's cool, man. Good job. I'm glad you guys did it. Hey, she's gonna do a podcast. Could she maybe have your daughter on, like, so they can talk? She wants to talk to other Sabines."
That's cute.
Like, that sounds adorable.
Oh, we're just
Little
losing.
girl. So I was like, "Lizzie, you want to do?" Like, and I was like, "She's like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years old, probably. I don't know."
Sal, we're a communications blockage can only mean one thing, I think.
Invasion.
Definitely, Maria, invasion. You might have
to...
That's the last we heard of him.
That was it.
My back? No.
There you go.
Fine over here. Oh, I am back now.
You're back, Sal.
We met at Orlando. They were excited to meet each other. They call us and they're like, "Okay, are you guys back in the room?" It's like the night before. And they just got into their room and they're like, "Okay, we're going to walk and meet each other because we're in Orlando. Nobody has cars." And so they will go from the hotel and we go from the B&B and walk down this long road. And then we finally see them off in the distance and the girls start running towards each other. And they're like, what, like 15, 16 years old, and running at each other and like hug each other in the middle of the street. And both the dads are yelling like, "Get out of the road, y'all. Like, what are you doing? Come on, man, get in the grass. Better an alligator than a car." But it's like and that seems to be a running like thing, because the next time I think they saw each other was their family ended up doing a road trip and like coming out here to like visit Batuu and Galaxy's Edge and stuff. And they like they ran across the parking lot when we'll meet you at this pizza place or whatever it was. They ran across the parking lot to see each other. So it's really, really cool to see that, like, now she's over there, like she's gonna be in New York. She just left to school. My daughter is gone. She's an adult. She's no longer a child running across the streets in darkness to meet other children.
She's an adult running across the street.
She's an adult. Let's hope not. Let's hope she listens. I hope every time she's in college and she's running across the street, she hears her dad going like, "Get out of the road."
Listen, Sal. The way you look after your kids, it's a handbook, buddy. So she's got nothing to worry about. She's a top-notch kid. So and because of her dad and her mum, they're killer. So she's not going to be running across too many roads.
Guys, Star Wars is good.
It's all right. Someone chop off our arms, please. Now, King Tom, how many celebrations you been to, buddy?
I've been to 2. I was at Celebration 2005 in Indianapolis, and then Celebration Chicago last year.
Now, King Tom, I'm not sure if this is your golden moment, but it's very interesting. I believe you did a bit of queue jumping back in 2005. What's up with that?
Yeah. I'm just going to start off by saying if anyone hates me for this story, I'm fine with that. But I have some friends, Star Wars friends here in Columbus. We decided to go out for the Saturday of Celebration. None of us were hooked in with the online fandom like I am today. They've kind of been able to stay out of
kingpin.
It. Yeah, they've been able to stay out of it. But
none of them became kings, okay?
Yeah. We left probably around like 4:30 in the morning and drove out to Indianapolis and pulled up and parked in this garage right off of the street, across the street from the convention center. And we cross the street, and as we do, there are lines down the block, one way, down the block the other way. But right as we cross, a door opens up and a security guard steps out and he waves us over. If you guys want to come into the convention, come in this way. We're starting a new line. So we say, okay. And a few other people are in the line too. And we get in, and it's, they check our passes, and we go inside, and we go directly into one of the lineup rooms where they have the ropes, and it kind of snakes around, and we don't even know what we're doing.
So is there anyone else already lined up in that room?
No, there wasn't. Not in this room.
Oh.
And so we go in through one of the entrances, and we heard, it's I think it's like Rick McCallum speaking or something like that.
Oh, you didn't even know where you were going?
No, we didn't.
Oh, man.
And so they usher into this room, and it's huge, and we're kind of in the middle off to one side, and they start letting in people from the other side of the room too, and the room fills up. And Rick McCallum was speaking, but it was the George Lucas panel. The first one of that. I think he did 3 that day, but this was the first one. And StarWars.com, the Star Wars show, ran some video clips from that this week, and it was interesting remembering that. But it was a hell of a way to start up the celebration, and it wasn't until later on that we found out people waited overnight for that panel. And I'm sorry about that.
How do you just stumble into a room with Rick McCallum?
I don't. Well, the thing is, we also went to the Rick McCallum panel because he had a panel of his own, where he mostly spoke about Revenge of the Sith, and he showed like a 4-minute highlight reel that really spoiled the movie, and they'd never run anything like this today. But he was just so energetic, and you could tell he loved what he was doing.
Did it show the part where he turns into Darth Vader? Because I did not see that coming.
Well,
like, how do you spoil that movie? It was spoiled like decades ago.
Well, a lot of the imagery and who fights who and where.
The trailer really spells out the movie. Like, I know we know the plot, but the trailer really reminds you, like, this is what's going down.
This was it was just clips, no dialogue, and it had like the background music from Backdraft or Braveheart or something like that. It had non-Star Wars like orchestral music, but it was a really good selection of clips. And someone asked him if it was going to be on the DVD. He said yes, but it was not.
John Williams was like, "You aren't paying for more music. I'm not making more music." John Williams got to eat.
How good Celebration did that guy have that asked about the DVD? Imagine going to Celebration and getting lied to from Rick McCallum. That would be my dream.
My favorite though was a guy who's like, "I don't have a question. I just want a high five." And Rick McCallum was like, "Okay, come on up." And guy ran up, gave Rick McCallum a high five, and guy sat back down.
I'd be like, I don't have a question. I'd just like to do a couple of key bumps.
I've heard that went on too.
Is that your golden Celebration moment, King Tom? Or do you have...
It's tough for me to say, because as fun as that was, I had even much more fun last year in Chicago, because I'm lucky to have made a lot of friends and meeting and hanging out with the people. I was in a group with Aaron Boyd, Les Gonzalez, Hawes Burkhardt, Johnny Grasso for the Rise of Skywalker panel. And, we were sitting together, we saw the trailer, and meeting Billy D. Williams with the Sithless guys, hang out at the Congress Plaza Hotel bar, and then the Steele Wars live show. It's just a ton of good memories. So those would probably be the golden ones for me.
Yeah, it's so much. Like, I used to go to a big, Comic Cons and stuff, but I'd never been to a Star Wars Celebration until I did the podcast. But it is going to those events. It's so much more enriching and fun, like knowing anyone else there, where I used to go just be solo and stuff.
Yeah.
Maria, are you a veteran of Celebration?
I am not, actually. Our first encounter was in Orlando in 2015. I said, man, we should go to this Celebration thing. I hear it's really cool, and it's the place to be if you're a Star Wars fan, because my husband had never heard of it. And I just kind of heard of it through the interwebs. So I was like, oh, this seems pretty chill. Like George Lucas, there's people here. Like maybe I'll meet some friends. So we went in 2015. That was our first one, and we left, and we're just so depressed. Like, oh my God, we have to do this again. Why can't we do this all the time? And I'm so weird. I'm so socially awkward in like real life that I saw Sal, and he was there, and he was in Quinlan Voss, right? And I'm like, oh my God, Quinlan Voss.
And he was like, oh my God, Vi Marati.
Yes.
Spoilers.
We all look the same. Yes, you're absolutely right. But yeah, and then I was like, wait a minute, that might have been Sal, that guy from that show I listened to. And then we were coming around the Gentle Giant booth, and my husband's like, that tall guy with the 90s haircut, I think he's your Australian make-believe friend. I'm like, no, it's not. There's no fucking way. And so we're behind
90s, early
Steele.
90s. Yeah, that's him.
We're behind Steele, and he's doing the vlog pod thing, and I can hear him. And I'm like, oh shit, that is the guy. That's him. He's like, well, say something, you fucking dweeb. I'm like, what am I gonna say? Like, hi, you're my imaginary friend. Like, how are you? Like, what do you say? So I'm just like, no, let's just be cool. Let's move on. Let's go.
It sounds like you're being real cool.
Oh, I was
Like
being
almost
so
to the
cool.
next room, and she's like, hey, you guys.
Right? So I'm like, I think that's him. And he's like, duh, that was him, Spaz. I'm like, you're probably right. We should probably spend the next 4 hours in the Celebration store. So we quickly sauntered to the store. But yeah, it was my first Celebration. It was a big blast. I saw a lot of people that I quote unquote knew, but it's like, how do you approach those people? I'm like, oh my God, it's Hawes. And he's like, who the fuck are these people? And how do you know them all? I'm like, they're my imaginary friends from the internet. And he's like, those people on the podcast? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you are such a fucking nerd. I'm like, you're probably right. But it's really bad, like with the pods and stuff. Like TJ was like 7, and we were riding to school, and Steele's on, and he's like, is Steele in our family? Because he's always on the phone. Because we listen in the car, and the speaker goes off like if people are calling or whatever. And I'm like, he's like in our Star Wars family. He's kind of family. And he's like, because we call him a lot.
Oh my God, that's so
So it's
good.
not a call,
Yeah.
it's called a podcast. And he's like, yeah, but you're talking back. And I'm like, you're right, I'm a loser. Let's listen to some Weezer or something.
So good.
Oh man.
I'm glad my kids
Yeah.
are older because they're like, can we go to Steele's? No. Wait till he texts us.
Yeah, but Celebration was a blast. I got to meet Ashley. And anyone who knows me knows that like Ahsoka is a huge part of my life. So it was amazing just meeting her.
Oh man, my face hurts, Maria. That was
So good.
we've got a Luke waiting to come in, so let's admit it and see which Luke it's going to be.
Could be one of several.
He's got the name Luke up, which is very mysterious. Oh wait, he's
Boy.
asked to start video.
Mysterious.
I don't know if it's Cruiser or not. There he is.
Cruiser.
Hey Luke, how you doing, man?
I'm sorry to leave you hanging on that one, Steele.
That's all right, buddy. That's all
Yeah.
right. How are you? How are you and your? I have to say, I'm not sure if this is isolation related, but that background, they are some very straight pops. You've got-
Straight pops. When they've been there for a long time, Steele. You've seen them several times. They've been the exact same way for a year.
Okay, I'm just saying they're neat. I'm saying they're neat. Do you know what I mean?
Maria, I loved your story, by the way. I was listening on YouTube. It was great. That was awesome.
Thanks, man.
I liked hearing all your guys' stories. It's cool. It's always nice hearing about what celebration means to me, and when and what kind of experiences we had. I had a similar Steele situation where I first saw
Ooh.
that's him. He's standing over there, he's all cool in his leather jacket and his 90s haircut. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want to bug him. I don't want to bug him.
There you go. Another Steele sighting.
You're like, no. But then I got a picture later, so it was all cool.
I'll just wait a few years, go on a live stream, and then insult his appearance.
Yes, exactly. Isn't that how these things work?
Go be 90s proud,
because I would say we're friends now, right? Or we were before that.
Dude, I quite proudly just put my fashion flag down in probably about 94.
You've been
94. Okay.
You've been relishing in that haircut for a long time. You talk about it all the time, so I figured
Yeah,
it's just
it's
part of your brand now.
Oh man, I got it cut outside the other day, and it had gone so it was out of control. But Cruiser, how many celebrations have you been to?
Just the two.
Yeah, because you're at Orlando.
Yeah, and Chicago last year, and my memory obviously is similar to Emily's, except less time in between starting the podcast and then meeting my co-host. But Eric and Dallas and I did the Bad Motivators, and we had done I think 9 episodes, and in the whole lead up I was like, I'm not going to Celebration. I can't do it. We just bought a new house. Can't do that. There's no way that's gonna happen. No way. And on the day that everybody starts showing up to Orlando,
I remember this.
Yeah, Dallas sends me a photo of he and Eric meeting in the airport, and they're both flipping me off. And I immediately, I don't know what it was. It was like a huge I can't miss out on this, or just screw those guys. I'm gonna show up and just be
Had
there.
to break somebody's rib.
Yeah. and so
what does that mean?
Literally.
Yeah.
So I start looking up airplane tickets and celebration tickets and see if I can get in there and whatever immediately. And of course everything's way more expensive because this literally the day of the thing. And I have been telling my wife for months, no, I'm not gonna go. No, I'm not gonna go. I'm real sad about it, but I'm not gonna go. She's just whatever. And then I finally text her that day and said, hey, would you be mad if I just left today to go to Celebration? Right in the middle of of moving between 2 houses and ripping up the floor of our new house to put new floor down and everything else. She was like, no. She's like, I know how much it means to you, and you're going to be a sad little jerk if I don't let you go. So yeah, just go ahead, do what you got to do. So I bought plane tickets. I called them, said, hey, can I stay with you guys? Like, what, you're coming here? And I said, yeah, Dallas, get ready. I'm coming, you son of a bitch. You're the one that sent me that picture. This is all your fault. This is happening. He was like, oh, in his doubt. Yeah, man, for sure. Guys, yeah, see, where did you sit on the floor? I don't care. And then I showed up and I broke Dallas's rib, and it was with a bear hug, and it was a great memory.
Because I remember Eric telling me this. And I just met Eric for the first time. And then he was like, hey, yeah, it's really neat. Cruiser wasn't going to come. And then we posted this photo to him holding our fingers up. And now he's flying here. And I was like, how stable is this guy?
Is he coming to kill you?
Yeah, it concerned me that you did something so erratically and oh yeah, I'm just flying in.
Yeah.
It's oh, so you guys actually went. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. So now I think it's very charming, but at the time, concerned. I do have to admit.
you're right to be concerned. That's a very risky decision. Like, why the hell is this psychopath just flying in all of a sudden over a
like,
photograph?
And he's staying with you guys?
Yeah,
yeah. All right. Watch yourself.
Yeah, coming on in. I swear I don't have any weapons. I'm good. I'm fine. Just my bare hands. Like, as I break Dallas's ribs when I first meet him. That's a funny story.
And
but
it's like how Struthers and Dallas's like flipping you off is basically the equivalent of like Marty McFly being called a chicken.
Yes.
And everything goes out the window, and
Yeah.
you like, wife, I gotta go.
Okay, I guess that's a rational decision, husband. just leave me and your two young children to deal with everything. Cool, thanks. I'm glad you understand.
These two dudes flipped me off.
I can't deal with that. Yeah, no, but it was a great decision.
I gotta go, honey.
Yeah,
Can
and
somebody flip you off again?
I'll send you a picture and I'll flip you off, and you can come too. But no, I met Sal there, and Emily, you weren't there, were you? I can't remember.
I was not,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
unfortunately.
I know Tom wasn't.
No.
And
We
and-
were
Get all
supposed
kind
to
of
do.
workers together. Go ahead, Tom.
yeah.
Luke and I think Joe Mays were supposed to do like a podcast about watching Celebration from home.
Yeah.
And we had done like a test run and it went fine. And then Luke just
And then
sent
Luke
text us,
chickened out and
"Yeah,
went.
I can't do it because I'm going to be there."
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, my erotic fan fiction was there, but I was
That's
not.
right. I was there for that. That was good times. It would have been better if you were there though.
Dude, that I remember when that went up, because for those who don't know, it's a long story. Yeah, I wrote erotic fan fiction that was going to be live read, and when it happened, I was still up because it wasn't particularly late at night, but I quit out of Twitter and Facebook and everything because I was so scared about it that I couldn't deal with people's reactions, that I quit out of everything and went to bed at like 10 o'clock at night because I was just terrified of people not thinking it was funny.
Oh, there was a lot of laughter in that room.
What-
Don't you worry.
Was it better being there for it the second time?
Definitely. I think in terms of the show, it's better that I was there for it. And
Definitely.
I was pissed at Steele because he didn't tell me beforehand that I was going to be dragged up on stage.
Listen, how can anyone conceive a reality where I wouldn't do that?
Right.
Like, come on.
Logically, yes, but in my head, I was like, I'm going to go to the show, and then when they do the fan fiction, I'm going to slip out the door.
Nope.
And then that did not happen, which is why there's a bunch of
let's ask-
pictures of me as red as a lobster, like completely like sinking into the couch, like trying not to die.
I'm gonna ask the opposite question. Does anybody out there think there's a universe in which she could have slipped out the door for that and gotten away with it?
Nope. We would have grabbed her quick. No.
Tractor beam.
Uh-huh.
I think even Brittany Brown would be cutting you off at the door like, "Excuse me."
She'd be leading the way.
The one of my favorite things of doing all the podcasts over the years, like this one and other ones, is like live photos of people on stage laughing. Is just something I just like, just seeing the moment of like, oh, that's pure joy just there. And me and Emily have some of the best photos
They're
of us
pretty good.
just like crunched over in pain at how
Johnny
How-
Grasso in particular, but
If you
That
give
man
Johnny
knows how to
Grasso
hug.
enough beer, he'll do anything. That much is true.
Yeah, that 2017, that's also when I met Grasso. So like I was talking, actually me and Luke were talking about this the other day. And he was like, weren't you like, you were talking to Haas? Because basically I walked into the thing and I found Haas and Jesse, and me and Liz just sat down with them and we're like, we're just gonna hang here and like sit down. And like Grasso was like doing the line and he was hugging people and giving people tickets, and like I was like, oh, that's Johnny, huh? That sure is. And then I walked over and I was like, yo, dude, I gotta get my ticket from you. And he turned around and he like looked me up and down and he was like, Sal? And then he like gave me the like gentlest but firmest hug. And he held it for like a good 47 seconds. And I was like, thank you for the tickets, John. And then I was talking to Luke about it. He's like, I met you that night, right? And I was like, he was like, you were talking to Hawes, right? And I was like, I was talking to Hawes. He's like, were you drinking a sangria? That sounds like me.
Yeah.
It sounds like
This is
something
a
I
big
would
one
do.
too. One of those fish bowls.
Don't rightly remember, but that sounds like something I might order.
Now, Sal, you have had a lot of wonderful experiences apart from getting hugged by Johnny Grasso at Celebration. What's your golden moment, buddy?
I mean, everything that we like, our golden moments is all the stuff because like I get to do it as a family. You know, I don't get to be like, wife, I'm gonna go tomorrow. Is that cool if I leave right now? we got a plan. Like I get the wife there, I get the kids there. So it's usually like a whole family affair. So like I think some of my favorite things are like I was actually running the Saber Guild booth for Celebration 2015. So the kids are with me and I had them with me on the floor. We're setting up the booth before things are open and I think the floor opens at 11. So the like, what was it? The Force Awakens panel is happening at 10 because when that lets go, they're going to open the floor or whatever. And like, I remember me and Axel run to the Lego booth to like watch the trailer. Cause like the Lego booth had they were streaming it and they were like, oh, we're about to show the trailer. So we all like ran over to watch the trailer. So I remember like seeing the trailer for the first time with my kids. Like we weren't in the panel, we were on the floor of Celebration and we were like semi-working. And then like Lizzie runs back and she's like, they have a Galactic Heroes Nexu. I love Nexu. It's like $5. Will you buy it? $5, you know? And then like, we would be on the floor a lot earlier and later in between panels. So like while people were setting things up and the kids were just walking the floor. Because like I'm like, yeah, you can go to the Mandos booth. It's cool. Because I know the Mandos. like the kids know everybody too. Like we know a lot of the costuming groups. So they're like, okay, we're gonna go to the Mandos and then we're gonna go chill with the Rebels and then we'll be back to Saber Guild. And like they would just come back and be like, oh, we played like the, you know, Battle Pod or whatever that they had at Celebration. like for like an hour because nobody was in line because everybody's at the panel or the floor hasn't opened yet or whatever. Well, grab your mom that Her Universe thing before they open. Hurry, go get that real quick. So just a lot of those little things. But then like you also have like Orlando where they were like, hey, would you guys like to be on the Rebels panel? And I'm like, yeah, what does that mean? Yes, but what do I do? Just come to the Rebels panel. We were going to do that. You know, and it was like, so we show up to the Rebels panel and and all of my like strangeness is more about, I'm more worried about missing the panel and having to be there to be on the panel than I am about whatever we're going to do on the panel. They were like, just come have your costumes and all that stuff. And I'm like, so if we're backstage, is there like are we going to be able to see the panel? Because I want to hear it. And they're like, yeah, there's a TV. It's fine, dude. Like, and I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure because this is important. Right? Like, and we're backstage and like everybody, and like, you know, like we've met a lot of the people through the show. We've done like a lot of these events at Rebels events. We're usually there. So like, you know, Vanessa will see us and be like, hey, like come running and like say hi. And like, I have like an interaction like with my tweet every now and then. So I'm like, hey, dude, like at this time, Lizzie just got into that cooking school. And she was really inspired by Freddie's book. He's got a cookbook. And I was like, look, I know this is a little weird. And also I'm dressed up as a character that you are, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But like, you know, she's going to this culinary school.
And I brought this little Buffy teddy bear, but it's fine. I'm cool, man.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, dude. Also, she was all that. But she was really inspired. Like that's cool. Like, you know, and he was like real nice about it. And then like Lizzie's talking to Vanessa, and then she's like, oh, I don't want to, like, I'm scared to say hi to Freddie. And she's like grabbing Lizzie and like, let's go say hi to him. Here, be nice to Lizzie. Like, and so like, you know, like it was cool that he was really cool, nice to Lizzie, and like things like that are things that I kind of like remember, like those little moments that like, you know, like Kenny Baker rolls up on his little thing and steps off, and he's like, that's the end of the story. So we came out on stage, and Lizzie sat next to Maul and then cried because it's this. It was the season opener for season 4, but they didn't do the second episode. So she's crying at the end of the episode, and she puts on her bucket because that's what celebration.
Did you talk about what your golden moment was at Celebration, apart from getting scolded for not talking to me or talking to me? Or
I mean, what could be more golden than seeing Steele?
I know, right? In his
Isn't that
live
everybody's celebration
habitat.
moment?
Yeah.
Everybody's highlight.
well, that's why I was asking for that, Emily, to find out what her highlight was. So just listen, I'm pretty happy here back in 94. All right. So just chill out. All right. Maria,
time.
please.
Sorry.
No. I should probably say thanks for having me on. Like, I'm just looking at the screen like, oh my fucking God. Like, I listen to these people all the time. Like, and now I'm on here. Like, wow. Thanks. It's incredible.
Well, your podcast, if people haven't listened to it, Sisters with Sabers, which is, as someone that likes a good use of the license and good branding, that name just says exactly like it. It's a very good name. Anyway, you don't have to change your name. I every time I do a podcast, I change the name like 10 episodes later, and then I stick with that one. When you went to Celebration, what was the one where you're just like, I'm here, I'm seeing this?
Well, I think the trailer dropped for The Last Jedi. I had heard like the uproar of John Williams and Princess Leia's theme, and there was music going on, and they're like, oh my fucking God, John Williams is here. And everybody's just screaming, John Williams is here. I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck in the Celebration store, and John Williams is here.
How are you?
Like, it was horrible. I wasn't there.
How are you watching it?
Ask him if he wants a Ponda Baba oven mitt.
Right. Does he want any of this useless shit?
I got pins for days.
How were you watching it? How was it on a big screen, or did everyone have
It was on a big screen. Like, it was to the left of the store. So there were a couple of screens. So the store's over here, and to the right was the autograph section, and there were screens there too. And the like photo op. So I think my biggest memory was meeting Ashley for me, because I'm such a huge Ahsoka fan. Like, and I was like, first of all, like floored that it didn't cost any money to meet her. Secondly, I could barely get a word out because I'm just like, I love you. You're on my arm. Let's be friends forever. You know, I just want to be with you all the time. I feel like I'm with you all the time. and I'm like, man, this lady must think I'm such a creeper. Because it's just like, what do you say? I'm in line and I'm like, what do I say?
You had no problem talking to Ashley Eckstein, but you couldn't talk to Steele Saunders. No offense, Steele, but
Well, did you see his haircut?
That's true. That's true.
That's
Look,
a classy haircut. Yeah.
Like
when you're talking to Steele, you don't have this Corey Van Dyke character who just keeps jumping into the conversation. That's the difference.
I love Corey though.
I do too. Just kidding, Corey.
Great guy. No, it was like, this is my moment. I have to say something.
Ashley,
I have to figure out what to say.
Your views intrigue me.
Legitimately.
Oh, Sal, you just cut out for a second, bud.
Cool. Awesome. Amazing. Talented.
Sal has frozen.
Friendly. I was just gonna say, Ashley's like legitimately one of the very nicest, kindest people. Like
Right?
every time I see her interact with very very nice. That's
I'll
all.
tell you what though, he was froze in a very elegant pose. He was
Yeah.
looking he was looking good when he was frozen. He was
Well,
like,
Kenobi style. Like what are we
no,
talking?
you were just like,
like
very very
thoughtful.
Like
thoughtful.
thinking.
All right.
You know, got the glasses
Mhm.
on, like you're dropping some straight knowledge. It was pretty cool.
So, Maria,
Yeah.
when you met Ashley, did you
Mhm.
tell her about Ahsoka?
So that was interesting, right? Because we were on our second cycle of in vitro. So we'd been trying to get pregnant for 3 years, right? I lost Anakin maybe 2 years more, maybe 4 years before that. And I'm like, fuck it, we're not gonna have kids. This is a nightmare. I can't take another dead baby. I'll jump out the window, right? So that happened. And he's like, well, maybe we should try again. And I'm like, I don't know. So we start in vitro, right? And I'm like, fuck this. We'll see what we get. But if another baby dies, then it's a sign, and I just need to fuck off, right? So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. So we go through the cycle of first ICSI, and that didn't work, right? So we went to in vitro. So we did our first cycle of in vitro and nothing. We did our second cycle of in vitro, right? And I'm like, it's cool. I'll get my mind off of it. We're going to be at Celebration. It's all good. Positive vibes, right? So I'm trying not to think about it, and I'm reading all the books, and they're like, okay, you just have to go on with your life as normal and stay open to the possibilities of having a baby. And all these bitches are like so happy. I'm like, fuck you, you know? So there's that. Well, it's true. They're all like so happy. I'm like, I don't know. Like maybe I'm just a sarcastic bitch now that I'm in my 30s, you know. But it is what it is. So I'm like, okay, we meet Ashley. I spill my guts to her. I love you. You know, you're the reason that I'm not dead. You're amazing. I don't know what I would do without you. And she's looking at me like, you crazy psycho bitch. Don't follow me when I leave here. I feel like that's probably what she's thinking. But you know, it's like, okay, I guess I just have to like rip the band-aid off. I may never meet this woman again. And I'm like, you know, we're going to be pregnant, and like Tom freaks out because he's like, did she just say we're pregnant? Did it happen? Did we get it? Like, because he's been waiting on pins and needles for like 3 years, hoping to get pregnant, right? So she's like, are you telling me you're pregnant? And I'm like, well, we're working on it. It's a long story. There's a dead baby involved. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I love you. Like, she's like, okay. Well, I'm like, but yeah, I want you to know, like, we're gonna name our daughter Ahsoka. She's like, as soon as you get that whole thing sorted out, when she's here, I'll sign anything. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I still haven't gotten Ahsoka to her yet, because breastfeeding and babies is hard on the go. I have no idea how like people did it before, you know, civilization or whatever. I just can't imagine. I guess you just whip your tit out and just hope for the best.
I mean,
but
how can you imagine not having a boppy pillow before now? You know what I mean?
Right? Boppies are clutch. Like they come in handy. Absolutely. But you know,
Maria,
then there's like teeth.
Whip my tit out and hope for the best. That's my live streaming motto as well. So.
Is it? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. It's my motto too. Just whip it out and hope for the best. I did weigh it once in a grocery store at like 2:30 in the morning. It was like 15 pounds. It was really bad. Really heavy.
You just sat down there, huh?
Like, was this like the bulk section where you like get the macadamias and stuff?
Where the bananas are. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was just like, fuck it. Also, don't do drugs.
Look, I need to know, right?
Bravo wants to get to the bottom of this.
It's not a good time. It all starts out as fun and giggles, and then it gets really bad. So just don't do drugs, kids. That's the moral of the story, I think. But anyway, back to the Ashley thing. True that. But back to the Ashley thing. Like, yeah, it was really exciting meeting her. And Tom was like, "Oh my God, we're pregnant." I'm like, we'll see. So we ended up doing like 2 more tests. And when we got back, I think our 3rd round of IVF, we had an embryo. And then we implanted it maybe 6 months later because American insurance sucks and you have to wait until you have money to implant it. But she was on ice for 6 months. Best part of the story, the guy who inseminated me with the embryo, so the guy who scientifically fucked me, his name was Rex. Amazing, right? That's the payoff. Like, there it is, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Oh, I mean, that's perfection.
What a journey.
Now I understand the Clone Wars thing.
What
you know?
Scientifically fucked
was
me.
Rex.
That's so good.
Until the doctor's like, "Okay, Rex, give it to her." I'm like, "Wait a minute,
what?"
No.
First of all, I'm sorry. Is that how they do it? Give it to her? Because that seems fairly
it's a medical term, Emily.
Oh no. He's like, "Are we all clear?"
That right there might be malpractice. Like, if this is not like this, you should just like cut out this entire story, and that is like your advertisement for Sisters with Sabers. That is like, for more of this.
If you want more of these kinds of stories, yes.
That is a roller coaster. Oh my God.
My cheeks hurt really bad.
That is
yeah.
Wow. You can't repel sizzle of that magnitude. Really.
Oh my God.
Pleasurable.
Maria.
And then he just turns to her and he goes,
I mean, Steele, you cannot cover up the guy who scientifically fucked me with your normal Jar Jar Binks like bleep that you do, because that's perfection.
It's already done. It's on the internet. It's tremendous.
How's the chat doing? Are there any survivors?
Let me see if I have to kick anybody out.
Yeah.
Wait, Lauren says, first of all, she says sister with sabers is amazing. And then she says, I have so many follow-up questions.
But yeah, we saved the little petri dish that she was in. And we have that in her bedroom. And I asked Rex, the guy in the window, who I'd never seen.
Tamira Morrison, is this?
I don't know who he is. Okay. I really never saw his face because the lab is like right next door to the in vitro insemination room. And all I could do is see his like goggles through a little window. And I was like, "Hi." I'm like, "You're not going to understand." Yeah, basically. "You're not going to understand any of this, but will you sign this piece of paper for me saying that your name is Rex and you delivered Ahsoka to me?"
Also, can you give me your clone serial number? If you...
Right?
CT7567.
He signed it. So I have the actual like in vitro serial number and the diagnostic page with the petri dish saved.
I love it so much.
Because I'm weird.
No,
that's great.
That's not weird.
Very
that's
weird
excellent.
story.
No. I don't think so.
That's very, very cool.
I mean,
that's how babies are made.
Yes.
Everyone.
You get scientifically fucked. It's pretty amazing.
Well,
correct.
Yeah.
Give it to her.
It wasn't even that long. Like it was maybe like 2-3 minutes. Like it didn't last very long at all.
Sounds about right.
I thought,
yeah, that does. Yeah, I was gonna say that checks out.
I thought there would be more to it. I'm like, science is fucking me. It's
man, like
the number of times I thought that there would be more to it.
Right? Right? Like, this has to be
so mad right now.
I'm not mad. I'm like, I'm just
scientifically or manually, it's the same thing.
It's gonna be great.
I'm just reading the comments, just like it's Jim Grote says it's 1:45 here in New Jersey, and that was a hell of a journey to take at this point in the evening.
I mean, I'd like to thank Maria for making all of our other stories seem like complete bullshit. But
Why are we even here?
I mean, I'm here talking about like stupid erotic fan fiction I wrote.
No, it was great. It was funny. I liked it.
Maybe it helped in the scientific,
So to get that, Maria, did you have to have like the Jedi Master celebration pass for that as well, or no?
to get fucked scientifically, no. Just lots of money. That shit costs money, dude.
So are those Jedi Master passes.
Right?
Wait.
Right?
The one guy yells, "Give it to her."
Yeah, my doctor.
And
Yeah.
another guy comes right after and says, the other guy comes right after and says, "Please excuse Dr.
I wish I could know
Right?
what he's saying.
Oh,
Right?
Sal, you just fuzzed out, making the most bizarrest conversation ever.
Oh, it was so good. It was a Mandalorian one.
All right, go
Please
again, Sal.
excuse
I got some of it.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
Decorum.
Oh,
I got
okay.
some of it.
I know it's
like
some
a-
Warner action. I know it's
Yeah.
some
I mean-
Warner action.
Look, scientifically, that was hilarious.
Oh my God, Maria,
That
that
was so
was
funny.
Whew.
Never get fucked by science because they dimmed the lights for ambiance, and I kind of wanted to see it.
Wow.
Like I kind of wanted to see it, like the embryo and the whole thing. And how often do you get fucked by science? So it's like I want to know, like, what does science's dick look like? Is it big? And if it's not big, that's okay.
Is
I get it.
science cut or uncut?
Honey, it better be circumcised if it's going in me.
Whoa.
I don't do that shit.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Oh, we're going out of line.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Can't do it.
My goal at this point
Sorry.
is to get Steele pulled off YouTube, by the way.
I have a few demands. That's one of them. Can't do it.
I feel like we're all on some kind of list now. Like I don't
I'm happy to be there.
This is what
This is
happens
fantastic.
when I get on. You people
Worth
are to
it.
blame.
No. I don't nobody blames you. You funny.
I'm gonna blame you for my sore jaw tomorrow. Oh my
Oh my
God,
God, it hurts.
I am.
It was a lot of fun though. So it was a quick sexual experience with science. But I hope it was memorable for science. As it was for me.
But the way you're telling it, I feel like you got it done at Star Wars Celebration.
I wish I did. That'd be fucking rad.
Right next to Tattoo Alley.
Yeah.
Right. I can get a tattoo
In
and
vitro
I can
alley.
get fucked by science in the
Yeah, I
same
feel like
day.
I feel like this is all something within like the Doc Ondar animatronics capabilities. Like he could handle this. Like he could make
There
this
have to
work.
be
Long
celebration
finger.
babies, right? Like somebody must.
He does. I was there, saw it. Checked out. You can always tell by the finger size.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, I look
Finger
at
size, feet size, hand
Oh,
size, all
yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
it. I look for sure. I'm like,
You know what they
skinny.
say about guys with two mouths.
yeah. I'd be down for two mouths, like one on the foot
Yeah.
and one on the actual. Yeah.
Dude,
Who's
I
down
need a
for
second
that?
mouth after this. I'm in pain. Oh,
Oh man. You know,
Oh, Jackie will appreciate
par
it.
for the course. Good times though. Good times.
Oh, the best times.
Oh yeah. So then I gave birth, and that kind of sucked a lot. It was super painful, and nobody believed I was actually in pain. And because Black women are more likely to die in childbirth, I'm like, hey, I might Padme out. If I do, take the baby and run. And
That's
I
for,
love you.
that's for real though. Like that's
Yeah,
like,
that's an actual statistic fact. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't mean that. I mean that nobody believed you were in pain.
yeah, like my pain level. Yeah, they said it wasn't. There's no way it could be that high. And she's like, "You can't be in pain. Like you're getting an epidural." I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna vomit on you." And she's like, "You can't vomit on me. You haven't eaten in like 12 hours." I was like, "Okay,
Dare me. Yeah.
can you
wanna
catch
see?
12?" So
Yeah.
then I vomited on her.
Nice.
Good.
Good for you.
Nice.
So that worked.
Mhm.
They literally said that to you. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't be in that much pain. Did they say like because like yeah, I don't know.
Because I had an epidural. Yeah, it was really cool. Like it was really interesting to see like this is why, Serena Williams almost died in childbirth. Like I get it now. Like wow, it sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting like look at the healthcare field as a
Yeah.
person of color. So that happened and I vomited all over the nurse and then they decided maybe I needed more medication because I might have been in pain.
Yeah, perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so we're 100% clear, like what you're talking about, right, is like this weird, inexplicable kind of assumption that the medical profession makes about Black people, right, which is that they have a higher pain threshold than everybody else, and therefore don't need as many pain control drugs. And that sounds like exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
because
called racism.
famously, childbirth is a pain-free experience for so
Oh,
many people.
People do it all the time.
How
It's
could
like
you
checking
possibly
the
be in
mail.
pain?
Fuck, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Everybody should do it.
Like
Jeez.
the one time ever, like for sure, you should believe that 100% what a woman is telling you is when she's going to give birth to a child. Like I am in pain. Like, how do you not believe me when I tell you this hurts? I feel it. No, I'm lying. I want more drugs, please. You know what I mean?
I feel like if I'm,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't pushed a person out of my vagina, but I would like to think that is a time when you can fully just be flat out like, hey, this really fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I
Man.
think you'd be fine. You'll
Oh,
be okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
I'm good.
true.
I'm good.
No,
yeah.
yeah,
I feel
I'm like,
nothing.
yeah.
No.
You're absolutely right there. Like I'm white, they believe me if I like go in
Oh
with like
yeah,
a paper cut
you
saying
look
that I'm
so
when
trustworthy. Yeah. There's no reason why you would. No, yeah. I didn't get any like pain meds, but I did tell them like I need another epidural because I can still feel what's going on.
Yeah. But obviously,
so then,
you were just, you got pregnant and you had a kid just so you could get an epidural because that's just what people do for kicks.
that's what all the kids are
Everyone's
doing
a shot
on
in the
the
spinal
street.
cord.
Yeah,
But
everyone's doing it.
Epidurals are a recreational drug.
with the possibility
Yeah.
of some side effects sticking around for a very long time after too. It's exactly what you want.
Yeah, so much fun. But
Having
as
witnessed,
a 10-year clean person, like I really didn't want to go and get pain medicine. So I was really proud of myself that I was able to deliver my daughter naturally without the use of any pain medicine, like, an oxy or anything like that. So that was really cool. So then I gave birth and she was really big, like 10 pounds. And then the nurse was like, yeah, no big deal. Again.
No wonder you were in pain, man.
Yeah.
Extra pain.
Again.
Want
no
to-
big deal.
10 pounds is literally a big deal. Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than my cat. Like that's
I want to slap
crazy.
yours in the face really badly,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah. Well, I was just lucky to get out of there without being like hacked up. So I was just like, thanks for the help or whatever you call it. I'll be okay. Bye.
Hell of a story.
Yeah.
This is
it
a
was
roller
fun
coaster, man.
times. Yeah, good
Man.
times.
having witnessed one birth, all the drugs. Like I was just like watching Jackie, just like going, "There's like I would not survive. This is like
No.
I just nah. That's no. I
tough.
don't have it. No, that's incredible. Like it was, and the epidural. She was trying not to get one, or I don't know. She had, but when she got it, the vibe change.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything. It was like having a drink and the water just like it was so weird to see it so instant just go. But I anyone that's had a baby, I'm just like, you're gnarly.
Yes.
Because you have been in more pain than I can conceive. It's insane.
Yeah,
it was
sorry.
something. No, I'm sorry, Luke. I'm dominating the conversation.
No, you should
Talk
have been
about
speaking about
your-
this. I apologize for speaking over you. I didn't mean to.
Let's hear what Luke
No.
has to say about childbirth.
No, I just want to say like we are going far from celebration, but like whenever
Yeah, we're completely off the rails.
when it comes to childbirth, like I've watched my wife give birth to 3 children, and every time it's like this like super like magical experience where I just look at her and be like, you are like the strongest being in the world. Like how is it that you're able to summon the strength to make this happen? Like I'm just watching her go through like these hours of things and like you know all the different layers of like, you know, like it's just wait for things to get bigger so things can come out and like everything else, like the time it takes for all that. And it's just like, man, like, and then watch her do it. Like I've cried every single time that it's finally happened, just because it's such a powerful moment. Like there's nothing against people who don't have children, but like if you see it happen, I can't explain what that moment feels like. It's unreal. And yeah, you're a goddamn trooper, man, and you should be proud of yourself for sure.
Yeah, she's cool. She's here and she's happy. She's healthy. You know, I'm like, she's like, well, the nurse comes in and she's like, so what are you gonna name her? And I'm like, Ahsoka. And she's like, you'll change your mind in a few days. Don't worry, honey. Don't rush to judgment.
That's like a regular human being name too. That's not like a purely Star Wars name, right?
So yeah, you know.
But how dare they?
It's cool. It's cool.
How dare they tell you you're going to change your mind? That's just
yeah. Like,
once the drugs we didn't give you wear off, you'll change your mind.
Yeah, just think on it. Maybe you'll come. What about Amy? Amy is nice. It's an A name. I'm like,
I've been thinking, and so have the girls. How about Rachel?
Hey, that's my wife's name, sir. You calm down.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not
boy.
disparaging. My bad.
There
Sorry.
you go.
I'm bad. My bad.
Kick him off. Get him out of here, Steele.
I'm gone.
Yeah. So it was a roller coaster getting her here. But she's happy and healthy now. She spent
and just had a birthday, right?
Yeah, 2 now. She was in the NICU for like 3 days after she was born, just trying to get like her sugar stable and all that stuff. And that was kind of eye-opening too, like being in the NICU and seeing like other babies in the NICU. Because there was like a kid there that I guess his mom was an opiate addict, and no one came to claim the baby.
Horrible.
So there was like a family, I guess, shopping for the baby. And we never left Ahsoka's box. Like we stayed there the whole time. And this white family came and they were looking at the baby. And I'm like, hey man, I don't know if you guys are going to end up with this kid or not, but I used to be an addict. So try not to like judge the mom too harshly. Like she might be going through some real shit. And if you decide to take this kid, like he really needs you. So it'd be cool to have someone for him to like depend on, because like no one came to visit that baby. I was there for 3 days, slept in the chair in the NICU of the hospital, and no one fucking came to see about the kid. And they ended up adopting him. So
wow.
That's a buzzkill. I'm sorry.
No, that's like.
Well, listen, Maria. Listen, we've got this
It was
friend.
the will of the force.
We've got this friend, Catherine Neen, the sweetest girl you ever met. You've radicalized her. She's now in the chat saying, we've got to hunt this nurse down. So
I love you, Catherine Neen. You're so awesome. And I hope you get to meet Diego Luna. You're the best.
That
She's
is what
a
I
wonderful,
want.
classy lady.
All right.
I
Well,
want Catherine to meet Diego so much.
let's.
Right?
I've put it out there on the chat for people that want to come in and give us a celebration memory. And so let's see if we can get Ian Gallagher up
Ian.
on. He's connecting. See how this goes. Ian, are you there, buddy?
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Ian.
Not much. I am currently working on some unit plans for the beginning of the school year.
Whereabouts are you, Ian?
So I'm just outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Tight. Nice. And are you a veteran of past celebrations, mate?
No, I'm not. I thought about going to the one in Orlando with a friend of mine, and it wasn't feasible for me. And then the one in Anaheim this year, I was planning on going, and COVID, but hopefully I've been waiting to see if there's gonna be some kind of like buying, like for people who gave up their tickets, if they could like if other people will be able to get tickets or whatever, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like as it gets closer to the date and some stability hits the world, they'll start selling the extra ones. So I think they just don't want to like on-sell them now, but they'll definitely be available. Luke, he has to go. So
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was an awesome surprise to get your cruiser. So thanks so much, man. And let the good people know of the internet where they can listen and follow you.
Yeah, of course. Like I mentioned earlier, I do the Bad Motivators with my buddies Eric and Dallas, and we release episodes every Wednesday. You check it out; it's a good time. We mostly talk about Star Wars and sometimes very little. So yeah, but it's a good time.
Sweet,
and,
man.
Ian, real quick, it was great to see you. I never got to like see you face to face before, so it's great. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's so cool. I just want to say real quickly is well, goodbye to you.
Yeah.
It's nice
Sorry
with you real quick, but it's I'm just grateful and thankful to be on here right now, chatting with everyone.
It's great to see you. And Maria, fantastic stories, and you're a goddamn trooper. So be proud of yourself because you should be. And everybody else, it was great to see you. I hope you have a good night.
Cheers, cruiser. Have a good one, man.
Bye. So, Ian, if celebration were happening right now, I mean, you wouldn't be there, but what would you most like? What news or trailer or whatever would you most be looking forward to seeing?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a really good question. I guess I would be looking forward most to the Mandalorian season 2 trailer and stuff like that, or I think it'd be cool to check out the like if they had a High Republic panel, like that would be really dope. How about you? Or how about everyone? Yeah. Did you guys already talk? I came in late, but did you guys already talk about that?
You missed nothing. You're right on time.
We actually talked very little about celebration.
Big news, Ian. I'm now pregnant. So
you got fucked by science.
How far along are you?
A fair far way along tonight. Trust me. I'm a long way.
I take scientific credit for this, by the way.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, your kid's gonna be so cute. You're in Rabo's little kid.
It's gonna have that '90s hair.
Yeah.
Arguing
Well-
with itself all day.
I guess I'll respond. I would really like to see if Celebration were happening, the baby Yoda, Yoju, whatever you want to call him, walk out on stage. Like, I think it would just bring the house down and start a fucking riot. And I like riots.
Do you think he would walk on stage, or do you think he would
That is
float
creepy.
in his
A little
What
egg
did they call it?
bassinet.
yeah
I
bassinet?
would like to see him walk. That would be my ideal like
The little
vision.
waddle.
It
That
would like
little
take
waddle.
10 minutes. It would be
Oh
perfect.
hell yeah! It'd be so
Just be-
fucking tedious.
I would accept.
It'd be like
Pram.
watching my grandmother get up from her recliner. Yeah, yeah, but everyone would be excited for it instead of pissed.
If I saw Baby Yoda, Yoju, if you will, walk, that was I could barely handle seeing that thing in. I can't remember what it was called. What was that thing in The Force Awakens, Tom, that walked along?
Boba Joe.
Boba
Oh,
Joe.
Boba Joe.
That's it.
Boba
Yeah.
Joe.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh
what
man.
about the giant like Muppet elephant that was drinking out of the same thing as Finn? That was the thing.
The Hababor?
The Hababor.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that guy.
I want.
Super
Where's
cute.
his Disney Plus series? You know, or hers? We don't know.
I mean,
At the start of
I-
every episode,
yeah.
I'm thirsty.
Right?
I wish they were a handsome human male to like share this drink with me. 'cause-
The end of every episode.
yeah.
This is going to be a bit of a mystery one. This is just I know I'm going to remove him. I won't remove him. I'll admit him.
They could have one of those Hababors at Celebration, like just on the floor, taking up some space.
Yeah, they had that Jabba at Orlando. It was huge. It was on Gentle Giant stage, I think.
Hmm.
It was insanely big. Ian, your shirt is cute.
Oh, thank you.
Love
It's Princess Leia, and it says self-rescuing princess.
oh, I like
I'm
that.
feeling that shit.
Yeah, I love. It's one of my favorite shirts.
Classy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would have been looking forward to whatever Rebels Remembered thing would have happened.
I mean, obviously, my dream would be a Cassian Andor series panel when Ben Mendelsohn walks out.
Oof.
But
That would be sick.
I mean, we're not getting Celebration for 2 years. We're not getting a Cassian Andor panel at all. So
I know they didn't do the future filmmakers panel at Chicago, but I
For good
would
reason.
think-
For good
Yeah.
reason.
But now I think they have Taika and maybe Ryan Johnson and some other person they could have rolled out there. I would like to have that.
yeah, I just want to see Taika in person because it's like seeing a giant teddy bear in person, and that's just like I think if I ever met Taika Waititi, I would just instantly burst into tears because he just seems like the nicest dude, and I love his
He
movies
does.
so much, and I hopefully his Star Wars things happen because I can't even imagine the weirdness that it will be. But he is a darling man, and I love him.
Well,
I feel that way about George. Like, I'd love to see George and meet him, but then I feel like I'd just scare him to death. And then I'd swap Ahsoka for his baby. She'd have a better life. It's what's best for her. They look almost identical.
and you'll look after Jet, who's about 25 now.
Sure. I meant Everest, but yes.
Ah, yes. Is that the name Everest?
Yeah, that's her name. Her name is Everest.
Wow. I've never heard that as a name before.
That's a great name. Everest.
Interesting. And they thought my baby's name was weird.
The I definitely think as far as big pomp and ceremony things, I can only imagine realistically the Mandalorian panel. And it is baffling that we're not talking about. This was originally going to be our pre-prepared Mandalorian trailer reaction live stream.
I mean, we haven't talked about that yet, but I think we have to, which is, obviously no one should be like shit posting like at Lucasfilm people or whatever. But just from a like marketing standpoint, the show comes out in October. It is the weekend of Star Wars Celebration, and there's not even a single word from like the official Star Wars Twitter account about getting a Mandalorian trailer, and that is bananas.
It's very bizarre. Not even like they did the Star Wars show thing, but I don't know. I just sort of thought it would have been a thing from they'd show a video just like, hey, we know it's a bummer. We've, go enjoy fan things and have fun. And I don't know. It's just weird. It's so like distant and cold sort of thing. It's not like our friend Lucasfilm Company. It's like Brick Wall Corporation sort of thing. I don't know. It's just
I don't like, even if you don't even give me any new footage, just give me a junk trailer, give me some stupid fan-made trailer, give me something that acknowledges that this show is coming out because it's Star Wars Celebration weekend and you have marketing professionals. How are they this bad at doing this?
I think what's most disconcerting to me too, in addition to like everything that's been said, is the fact that it's the weekend after DC Fandom, and after the huge amount of success.
Fandom. Sorry.
Yep.
Had to.
After the huge amount of success that had, and it just seems, like what? Like they're like we're hanging out to dry almost.
Now, guys, I've got an exciting development to the show. It is our buddy in Melbourne, Catherine Neen. How you doing?
Catherine!
I'm doing well. Yay!
Hey.
Hi, everyone. I loved the story, Maria. Loved it. Loved it.
Oh boy, you give me some time and a mic, and I'll weave you a tale. We can get into some shit. If you're ready, we can nut up and we can get into some real shit. Like for reals. Like if you really want to hear a tale, like I will tell you some shit.
Does it get more real than that?
Oh, I can tell you some stuff. Shit, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the time that I put. Never mind. That's a story for another day.
Well, now I do. Like
You can't just stop there.
See, that is some sweet sizzle, and I feel that you are building up for an amazing Patreon show for Sisters to say this.
I gotta know.
Maybe one day I'll weave another tale. I don't want to take up the whole fucking live stream with crazy stories about me and my antics. No one wants to hear that. What'd you guys think about the Celebration store? There was an avocado shirt.
Boo.
Everyone loves avocados. Right? That's me. It's an avocado. Let's do it.
I am dead at the avocado.
Would they have made that shirt look less like BB-8 if they tried? I have seen actual avocados that look more like BB-8 than that BB-8 avocado shirt looks like BB-8.
That shirt is awful. Terrible.
At least like have like a pithy slogan or something on it.
Yeah, nothing. God, there it is. Yeah, that's the attacker, officer. That's him.
I mean,
you got the right guy. That's
it. like avocados and I like Star Wars. But even I was like, I'm not pulling the trigger on this.
I mean, first of all, that's not really what an avocado looks like.
Right. It's offensive to avocados.
I mean, they don't have like a secondary like bulb on. God damn it.
No.
Catherine, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. No Cassian panel and no Krennic.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
like crushed. That's all I was wanting. Some Cassian news, but cross my fingers for next time, and then sell tickets for when I line up to meet Diego, and then at the last minute chicken out and run away.
Oh, well, that's not happening because you're going to have like 8 people standing around you forcing you to meet him.
Dude, I will buy tickets to watch this happen because the thought of being splattered with Catherine's body as it like explodes with excitement. I'd love to take home a finger. Do you know what I mean? I'll remember Catherine. She was a great friend. Here's her finger from when she met Cassian. It's very special. It's how she would have wanted to go, let me tell you.
Yeah, like when you force yourself to watch the reboot of Flatliners because Diego's in it, you have it hard.
Taking a bullet there.
I love the irony of the reboot of Flatliners. A movie that is about rebooting. That is fantastic.
1 hour in, Diego's topless. Just telling everyone, 1 hour in.
Wow.
No, Catherine,
All right.
I wonder about this.
How's Neen with her timestamps?
Pretty good. Do you? Because I can never meet Ben Mendelsohn. It can never actually happen. Like
I can. Sorry.
Go fuck yourself. But
Scientifically, Steele. Scientifically.
Only scientifically.
I wouldn't be able to handle getting scientifically met by him. Jesus.
But
Too
Catherine,
much.
do you have like a question you would want to ask Diego Luna? It's too overwhelming.
Yep.
I think Steele has died.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is when I need to be lining up with like you or Josh Chapman to ask my question while I just cry.
I would want to just be like, can I just touch your mustache? Can I just I don't have to touch your actual skin, just the mustache part.
Oh, that's fine then. That's not your actual skin.
I thought you were going to say something creepy and weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
Skeletal.
I was worried for a minute.
Yeah, see this. I feel like this would all work out. I think.
Yeah, I'm glad it did.
No, it's totally normal. People do that all the time.
I'm sure that's what he would say.
Emily, you went to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. What was your golden moment?
I mean,
Steele's fishing for a compliment, Emily. Don't
I'm not.
blow this.
I mean, I met Steele like before then, but anyway, like
He doesn't care. He wants to hear it again.
Ah.
Not to sound like I'm afraid it sounds self-involved, but the live show with the fan fiction read was amazing, and like the energy of that crowd and having Randy, and I mean, God bless Randy because he had to narrate the thing, but also, I mean, obviously Johnny and Chris, who I had never met before, doing Tarkin, who I was like Johnny and Randy at least like know what they're getting into, but Chris, I was like, I was horrified when you told me he was reading Tarkin, because like
I was the opposite. I was like dribbling while I was asking him. I was like, reading him excerpts, and he's like, oh yes.
He was very like, and first of all, his Tarkin impression like top notch, And also, he was very nice to me afterwards and has been very nice to me on Twitter on several occasions. But like sitting next to him as he was reading it, I was like, oh, this is humiliating. But having people like laugh at this thing that I had written and had been very, very nervous about beforehand, and just having people love it was, I mean, it sounds weird. It was almost like life changing in terms of like, oh, I'm like wrote this thing that is making all these people really happy. And that was like extremely cool. Not to sound like super egotistical, but that was really something special.
I don't know. Making people happy is pretty fun. It's good.
I wouldn't know.
Ah.
Dear.
What about you, Catherine? You're in Chicago for a celebration. What was your golden moment, buddy?
I remember us from Melbourne walking up to Echo Base and texting like them and Emily saying, we're at the front door. And Emily basically running to the door and hugging for the first time. It was so great. And coming in there, meeting everyone, and then going, you're King Tom. Oh my God. And then at the haunted hotel, meeting everyone else, Brittany and I were just like standing there holding hands, like screaming because we didn't know what else to do. It was amazing. Obviously, I lost my mind in the Rise of Skywalker panel to the point where I actually lost feeling in my legs during, like, at the end of the when the Emperor's laugh. I lost feeling in my legs. It was just that overwhelming. And then walking out, we tried to live messenger Matthew Frost back in Adelaide, who was awake, and he was just crying as well. And it was just amazing. And being at the live Steele Wars in my usual position of front row, which for that particular one, it was a bit overwhelming. We know what happened, but me front row bandit all the time. But just meeting all these people that I'd interacted with over the years in person was brilliant. And so I actually bought my plane tickets to get over there in September last year, basically the week I could get tickets. I was like, no, I've got to get tickets. So as soon as, airfares were available to get over to America, I bought them just so I could get there to be with all my friends rather than stupid old wintry Melbourne.
Winter in Melbourne can be tough. It can be tough. It was so bizarre to have, like, it was like that true George Costanza to see the Australians there and just like worlds are colliding. It's like it was really it was really cool. And actually to see people, I'm like, oh, you guys know each other on the internet? That's awesome. Like, I've hung with you both. Let's see if I think we've got Billy here.
My phone's dying, so I'm gonna bounce.
All right, no sweat. No sweat, Sal. It was so.
Hi, Sal.
Thanks for joining us,
good
buddy.
To see you.
Yeah, man.
You're the best. You're super cool.
And I miss you, buddy. You're so close yet so far.
Love hearing celebration and
that was the last we ever heard of him. We hardly knew he. Billy, turn on your video if you want to have a chat.
You don't have to. Don't feel any pressure.
Okay, good to know. Well, does anyone else have any fun celebration memories to? Oh, there's Billy. He's there. What's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, guys? How
Now-
are y'all?
Now, Billy, whilst Maria revealed the existence of Ahsoka at Celebration, from my memory, you got Ahsoka tattooed at Celebration, didn't you?
Yeah.
Hold it up.
Let's
close.
check that out.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, it's in the same spot as mine. Like right there.
Word.
That's so weird.
Oh,
That's
What would
amazing.
happen if
what,
you,
what
would
arm
happen if
is
you
that?
touched them together? Do you think like
Is that
World
your
between
left arm?
worlds.
the power cannot be contained. I just tell you that much.
Is that your left? That's your right arm.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
my
you're
right arm.
facing this way. Okay, so that's your right arm. This is my left arm. That's so cool. We're almost in the same spot on our arms.
I believe the Wonder Twin powers would activate.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
I think that's, and then
Mirror properties activate.
yeah, to take the form of bird seed, and somebody else would be like a bucket of water.
Oh,
Somehow this would
can
solve
I be
problems.
a convor?
100%.
We were just talking about how birds are better than people. Me and my husband in the car. I was like, fuck, birds are so much cooler than people because they can shit on us. They don't have to pay rent. They always know where they're going. They have babies, and a couple weeks later the babies are fucking gone and they can peace out. You know, it's like, fuck, I need to be a bird.
I
They
think
do
if you
fly in
really
the windows,
wanted
though.
to, you could shit on a bird.
It would take some
But would it be
preparation.
worth it?
Yeah.
in the bird's favor, free eggs.
It's true.
Hey, Billy, what's your golden celebration memory, buddy?
Dude, so the 40th anniversary,
Oh.
like in it was Orlando, right? I think you actually interviewed me like like that morning before the panel. It was like at 6 a.m. after I had not slept all night. There's like an interview with me on an old like Steele Wars, like just like on your little like talk boy thing, like.
Oh boy.
And I remember that panel, just watching that panel, man. And then like it was just like, all right, we got Hayden, we got George Lucas, and then like suddenly like the curtains open, and I was sitting literally right next to you, Steele, at that panel, that 40th anniversary panel, and the fucking curtains open like 20 feet away from us, and John Williams was there with
insane.
a fucking orchestra, dude. Like, cannot tell me that was not one of the best moments of your entire life. Like when the curtains opened, John Williams was right there. Like that was the sickest thing ever.
That like that whole panel, it was just like the entire. It was just so. It was quite a feat. I was very proud to be a Star Wars fan that day. It was some sweet action. Billy Lord's speech and
for me it was that for sure. Nothing can beat that, you know?
Yeah.
That panel was like, it made everything worth it, you know, like staying up all night, being like kind of miserable the night before, you know, like that's kind of like what epitomizes like what celebration comes down to when you're like, okay, like I hated my night the entire night, like this sucks, but George Lucas is talking to me right now, and then like John Williams just played me a song, so I think I'm okay, you know. So that was my first celebration panel ever, you know. So quite a way to break into celebration.
I reckon. Not even through the side door like Tom Chansky. That was as far as official things, that was like the dream panel. So that was quite a thing. But we've been going at this incident free for over 2 hours. I'm just very proud of technology for this, and it's been super fun. This is like we talk about like the 40th anniversary panel, like these late night conversations with like people that I've met from around the world that's into the same thing and is like-minded. Like this is the bit of celebration that you just can't bottle. So thanks everyone for chatting. My stomach feels fitter after laughing so much. So I thank everyone for like sharing their like memories and joining in. It has been so fun. Let's go around the gamut and do some sweet plugs for those watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast. King Tom, where you at, buddy?
You can find me on Tom Chansky on Twitter every week on the Sith list, and then I do Patreon shows for Blue Harvest, the Bad Motivators, and I think you're going to be reading some Ewok books to me or something.
That's the plan. All
right.
Oh, story time.
Bring it on.
The Ewoks are going to join the fight, and I'm pretty keen.
And I still am waiting to hear all about Luke and Mara Jade's wedding and bachelor party.
I had it open this week. I want to do this Page Wars reverse where I tell him what happens in Union, but so it's this comic from like 2000 where Luke Skywalker marries Mara Jade, and it's just too full on. They've both got cargo shorts. It's out of control. So
how long does it take you to King Tom?
Why do you think I read
novels before you can read a single comic issue?
I get distracted because I'm like, I've got to like, how am I going to present this? It's a whole like. Listen, I'm worried I'm not going to do Union justice for for the treatment it deserves. Do you know what I mean? So I'm holding out. Maria, where can the people find you on that sweet internet?
So the podcast is at Sabers With. It's called Sisters with Sabers. And it's a lot of Black women talking about Star Wars and hopefully getting some changes made to the High Republic sooner rather than later. My personal Twitter handle is Blurred Girl Jedi. If you just want to listen to me rant about things or see pictures of a 2-year-old, you can do that at Blurred Girl Jedi on Twitter or Instagram. Thanks for having me on.
Maria, thanks for coming on the pod, and thanks for listening to my show. And it's always cool when people like start a podcast, because that's what it's all about, starting a podcast. And it's a very it should be, the iTunes promotion doesn't show it, but it's a very hopefully democratic sort of medium. So it's I like it when everyone's making a podcast. It's fun having their I dreamed of this when I was little. That episode of Seinfeld when Kramer had the TV show, the fake TV show in his lounge room.
Oh, so good.
That was my dream, and I'm living the dream right now. So Robbo, where can the good people of the internet find Skeletor and his alcohol problem?
I don't. Oh, so I do Hardcore Gaming 101. It's a game podcast. Used to do a bonus show on Steele's Patreon, but we've moved on. Catherine, I believe, is going to be taking over starting tomorrow. So the Catherine Report, everybody check that out.
Excellent. Thank you, Robbo. As non-awkward as always, Catherine Neen, you're joining the Catherine Report. We couldn't do it without you, literally. What else you got going on?
Not a lot. on Twitter, I'm at Catherine_Neen. My podcast is being on a bit of a hiatus. So I am planning to bring back that Geek Pod. And I guess a fair bit on Star Wars Spelt Out, usually screaming about Cassian a lot.
That sounds on brand. On brand.
Yeah, always.
Billy, where you at, buddy?
It doesn't matter, but check out Sisters with Sabers. They're awesome. I'm neither a sister nor do I have a saber, but no one needs to know about me. They need to know about Maria.
Thank you.
Sweet. The handball of the sizzle. Ian Gallagher, where are you at, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter at igallagher321, and I concur also with Billy. Sisters with Sabers is definitely the podcast to check out.
Sweet.
Thank you so much, guys. That's amazing.
Good sizzle. Emily Lind. The Canto Bite Dispatch.
You got it right.
Dude, I've got it right for about a year. What did I used to call it? The Canto Bite Exchange.
Because I had a new thing every fucking time you said it.
Do you want to talk about Yoju, or do you want to talk about your podcast?
God
you
damn
make the call.
I hate you so much sometimes. Yeah, I do the Canto Bite Dispatch with my friend Brittany Brown. You can find it on all the podcast places and on Twitter at Canto Bite Pod. I am on Twitter at EF Lind, and I also inexplicably do a podcast that is going through the filmography of Vin Diesel and exploring it on a way too in-depth level. So check that out at The Fan and the Furious.
Silly as fuck. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Jim Grote in the chat has asked if you had one bit of advice for someone who was considering starting a podcast, what would it be? I would say find out as much as you can about how to make it and put it online in a week, and then record it at the end of the week and just start doing it, because you're never going to be ready. And if you just start doing it, then it'll work out. You'll get experience. You'll learn the technical. You'll learn how to have fun doing it and all that sort of stuff. So Robbo says, book King Tom. He's cheap. So there's that.
That's true.
I'm gonna have him guest on my podcast.
Okay.
I should sizzle that tomorrow at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern. If you're in London, it's 11. I think if you're in Australia, it's 8 in the morning. We will be doing a live chat with Zoom calls with the great man himself, Details.
Wow.
Who is, of course, has been in a bunch of Disney Star Wars films, and boy, can that dude tell a story about being on a Star Wars set. So cannot wait to catch up with him. Hey, thanks so much, everyone, for being a part of this. People in the chat, you guys, I miss you all. We should be doing this in person, but hey, listen, 20 years ago, the thought that like, hey, we could go to a Star Wars convention and have friends, that would be pretty impressive. But also it was like, but if you can't join them, you can talk to them on a magic bit of talkie glass. That's pretty cool too. Don't tell that person 20 years ago why you couldn't go though. Because that's going to be a massive bummer. All right. So don't worry, you guys. Marty McFly will get the almanac back to the shop sooner or later. And
I hope
it'll all unravel. we hope. And hope is what Star Wars is about. Thanks, everyone. I so appreciate it. And may that force be with you.
Thank you so much, Steele.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.